again, the consequences will be quite strong, quite harsh, and something we genuinely need to be aware of. My advice with this, and I think I'm going to say this later, I genuinely think if this was to be a lesson from this evening, I think this is the point where we say, if you're a landlord who is not managed by MRP or is managed by someone else or self-managed, I will be inspecting properties. I'll be making sure that maintenance is done and that there's no disrepair that a tenant can use as a means to sort of make a claim. That would be a big takeaway for me. Absolutely. Property inspection to make sure the property is maintained to an appropriate standard and they have no cause for complaint in that regard, I think is a big takeaway from this evening. The other area where tenants could certainly come back to haunt landlords is paperwork. So it's that whole, has the paperwork been issued correctly at the right time, in the right way, and is it fully correct? Has the one been dealt with appropriately? We have a 45-point checklist at our moving process to make sure that we tick all those boxes. So I think learning lessons from this evening, if these rights are going to be given to tenants, which they absolutely are come next year, I think there's a period of time when as landlords you could in effect make sure your house is shipshape, frankly. And hopefully that would take away any angle of attack that the tenant might have when this becomes live. So certainly I'll be getting property inspections and certainly I'll be double checking that paperwork you've issued is correct. On that note, we have a Tenancy Health Check offer. So this offer is always open, but Baxter, I'll ask you to maybe pop the link in the chat. If any of you want to follow that link and just book a call, it goes into my diary. What we do on that call is go through the checklist. So I use a similar checklist to the one that my team use. And basically what I'm looking for there is, does your tenancy, your tenancies meet every single that they need to at commencement and during the tenancy? And I don't think I've ever done a tenancy health check where someone has, in effect, been able to tick every box. But the purpose of the call is, it's not to beat you, but it's let's double check what should be done. Let's check what's in place. Let's identify the gaps and let's build a plan to correct anything that isn't quite right, is missing, or hasn't been done. The idea being, hopefully, we put you in a position where when these extra powers are given to tenants, everything's ticked off, compliant, and these sort of routes to maybe get back to you and find you have been taken away and dealt with. So I'll ask Baxter just to pop that tenancy health check link in the chat. So if anyone wants to call and go through that process with us, you're very welcome to do so. Rent control and rent level.
Put into the chat there.
Oh, sorry, Baxter, fire away.
I was just saying, I'll put that in the chat there. It was just the.
Thank you. There's a terrible delay for the few miles we're apart, isn't it? I'm not quite sure. I feel like we're on the Eurovision, but we'll get there, Baxter. Whilst we're speaking, is there any questions that have come in since we last checked?
Just having a look there.